Hello viewers, and welcome. I'm your host Witty Weasel, and I'm here to guide you to the ninth inner circle. As we begin our tour, I'd like to share 3 different entity stories. 2 of them which I've found online, and the credit is in the description, and one that's a personal story, if you're up for listening to it. So sit back and relax as I share you these stories. Obese entity in the corner. This took place in my apartment in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. It was almost 7 p.m. and I had to go get my boyfriend from work at 8. I planned on cleaning and finishing the laundry for the next 45 minutes, so I put in my headphones and started cleaning. I was listening to a song called Demons by Tech Nun, which really isn't a demonic song, you just have to understand the artist to understand his music. Anyways, I bent down to pick up one of my kids' toys, and as I was standing back up, I saw as clear as day a very obese white man with a white shirt and dark shorts just sitting in the corner of my hallway outside my daughter's room. I only saw him for a split second. I even second guessed if I was seeing things, but it was just too real for me to conclude that it was my imagination. I grabbed my daughters and we went to get my boyfriend from work early. I was freaked out, but not too scared because the man didn't really look scary or threatening, and he wasn't doing anything but just sitting there. About 2 hours later, my boyfriend and I are laying in our bedroom, and my daughters are sleeping in their room next door. As I'm telling my boyfriend about what happened, all of a sudden there was a boom, and a power cut out. This woke my daughters up, and my boyfriend went out to investigate. What happened was that the breaker had tripped, and the box was wide open. And the breaker box was in the exact spot that I saw the man sitting earlier. This freaked my boyfriend out, and we basically just laid in bed the rest of the night. What to do? Watching me at night. It has been a while since I last posted a story, for the encounters I get have dimmed down greatly. Well, except for now. Like I said before, I haven't experienced any activity for a while, but a few nights ago I have been hearing things in my room every time I lay down to sleep. When I lay down at night, I tend to stay up for maybe another hour before going to sleep. In that time, I hear a lot of things in my room, like light tapping, or objects getting moved around, or even the sound of the floorboards creaking beneath the carpet, as if someone is walking around very slowly in my room. There has always been a couple times where objects, such as books or little figurines, have been knocked off my desk or dresser so violently that I lose several hours of sleep for fear of letting my guard down. The footsteps I hear almost sound like someone or something is pacing around my room, but they never seem to walk to my bed or the closet. When I sit up to see if maybe my pets have managed to sneak into my room, the steps stop. Sometimes when I sit up, I feel a rush of air on my face, like maybe someone blew their breath at me or waved something in my face. When I lay back down, I usually put the blankets over my head, and then the footsteps start up again. Now with the tapping, I've talked about it before in a couple other of my stories. This time, the tapping has moved into my room. It starts out really quiet at first, just subtle taps on the wall behind me or by the door. I try so hard to ignore it, but they usually get louder. One time, I managed to fall asleep, but was scared awake by a loud bang against the wall, right next to me like someone punched it. Yeah, my brother's room is next to mine, but he rarely moves around in his sleep, so it can't possibly be him. This sounded like someone hit the wall out of anger. Did I apparently make something angry for trying to get at least a few hours of sleep in? The Dark Shadow. Now this is a personal story of mine. When I was a child growing up in the north, there was this house that we lived in that was about 2 stories. What was really great about the house was I had many fond memories there. But the weird thing was at night. When I'd go to sleep, I'd have this same reoccurring dream where I could do whatever I want inside this house. I could fly, I could swim, I could make myself bigger, smaller, I could even have x-ray vision if I wanted to. But the problem wasn't that I was able to do all these things. It was what happened when the bathroom door upstairs opened. When it opened up, all of these things that I was able to do suddenly stopped. Now all of a sudden, all these powers I had, all these special abilities were gone. And for once, I was terrified. And as this bathroom door creaked open, the house got dark. Not just like the lights dimmed down, we're talking you can't see anything but what's in front of you. As I'm sitting there terrified, wondering what the heck is going on, upstairs in the bathroom, I see this shadow. It's very long and it's very big, crawling out of the bathroom. The first time I saw it, I ran for my life and I hid. But it found me. And when it did, it stood up. It was very tall and very large. It stretched its arms out, but it almost looked like it was in a robe. And there was no hands, but only shadows. But when you looked at its face, it had this pure white grin that stretched from ear to ear, and two dark red eyes. As it stood there, smiling at me, it would open its mouth and laugh, but nothing would come out. No sound, nothing. And then finally, with its outstretched arms, it would grab me, and I would wake up. Now, of course, this is a scary dream for a child, but what makes it even worse was it kept happening. There'd be countless times where, whenever that dream would happen, it'd be the same result. I could do whatever I want, but the second those bathroom doors opened, it was done. But the weird thing was, I didn't feel scared towards the end. Because no matter what, I'd always wake up. No matter what, it'd still be the same result. I wouldn't have any scratches or bruises. I wouldn't have any mental depression. Nothing. I'd just wake up scared, but okay. So towards the end of it, the second that shadow would come out, I would run right up to it and chase it and tackle it just so I could wake up right away before it had any chance to do anything. There was a very long time that I didn't see it. It wasn't until I was 17. I was in a very depressing stage, and there'd be moments where I wouldn't have the dreams, but I would see him in the corners. I would see him when I'm at my lowest point. He would come out from the darkness, and he would laugh, but nothing would come out. No sound, nothing. What is it? Why is it following me? Is it just something that I've conjured up? Or is it something worse? Thanks for listening. This is my first video ever on YouTube. In fact, this is the first channel I've ever made on YouTube. So if I really sucked, this will probably be the last video you'll ever see on YouTube as well. I've always wanted to try storytelling. I've listened to many different stories from different YouTubers, and it's really gotten me fascinated with this subject. So if you guys really like this, and if you find my voice somewhat decent, then feel free to subscribe, as I will try to upload videos as often as I can. If you have any scary stories you'd like for me to tell, feel free to email me at the9thinnercircle@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, and comment as you will, but remember, tread carefully in the 9th inner circle.